Round 4 of GT-MES Season 11 takes place here at Interlagos in Brazil. It was Hatton on pole in the Group 2 class for Lexus, while Nils for Audi took the pole in Group 3. At the start, Hatton opted to start on the slower medium compounded tyre, and he ran wide going into turn 1. This allowed Sota to have a fantastic run going into sector 2, managing to get that move to stick as Hatton really struggling with a slide mid-corner. That allowed D-Look to get past as well. The Lexus driver decided to limit their time on that compound, deciding to go for an aggressive 3-stop tactic. The rest of the Group 2 field will come into the pits shortly after, allowing Hatton to take the lead again momentarily. It was D-Look that came out the pits on medium tyres and ahead of Sota, getting that crucial track position. Sota was on the soft compounded tyres though, made up the ground through traffic, tried the inside here, managed to get it to stick, little bit of contact but managing to get through. Over to Group 3, Nils was struggling to keep their lead at the start. Round the outside went O'Sully, looking to see if he could get that to stick. Couldn't quite out, Nils managing to edge him out. And then towards turn 1, the center S. Again, Nils having to go a bit defensive, running a bit wide in the R8. The R8 sliding about all over the place. Round the outside again, O'Sully managing to make it stick this time around, moving up into the lead of category. Nils was starting to hold up some of the other drivers. Again, sliding mid-corner, that allowed Safa to go around the outside. Safa was actually on the medium compounded tyre for the first stint, switching over to the softs for the second. And now it was Riesland's chance to make a move on Nils, as Nils ran a little bit wide. O'Sully from the lead of the race made their way into the pits. This allowed Safa to momentarily take the lead. The Audi drivers were actually the last to make their pit stops. They rejoined the track, finding themselves in 6th and 7th. Meanwhile, Safa, who was already onto their second pit stop, quickly managed to make an overtake on Riesland's Aronov with the fresh tyres on the run up towards turn 1. As O'Sully were coming to the pits after only a couple of laps on their mediums to go onto softs for their third and final stop. Back over to Group 2, it was Sota still in the lead. They couldn't shake the Honda of D-Look despite the tyre advantage they had, and when it came in for their final stop, they failed to switch onto the mandatory medium compound, had to return to the pits again later. D-Look was now in the lead, but Hatton was coming behind with fresh tyres, critically stuck behind their teammate though, who hadn't stopped yet. And when they finally swapped positions, too much time had been lost. This allowed D-Look to drive home for their first GT-MES victory after a very difficult start to the season, the Green Machine taking honours. Back to Group 3, the Audis again extending their stints. Nils finally came into the pits from the lead. Safa would come in for their final stop, and they returned out the pits just ahead of O'Sully. They were now in the battle for the net race lead, but a lapping car collided with O'Sully, one of the Lexi, there you can see, that gave them damage. Rather than fighting for the win, the Mazda driver was fighting to stay on the podium for the last lap. A train of cars behind them. Very difficult to keep them all behind. Riesland diving to the inside on the final essential corner. But it would be Safa taking a very impressive win, their first of the season. Congratulations to them. Johnny Mastori took the final podium place in Group 2, while O'Sully did just enough to stay on the podium in Group 3. Thanks to their fourth podium in 4 races, O'Sully extends their lead in the championship, and Lexus remains in the Manufacturers' Championship lead.